listening to America Overnight, mystifying the airwaves for more than 29 years. Thank you for staying up with us. Ghosts. We've had many callers over the years tell us of hauntings, voices, and other phantasmagorical phenomena.
Sadly, you can't walk away while this is playing or it'll get quiet.
Tells his story.
Thanks. This is something I experienced recently while staying at the Chili Pines Motel in Macon for last year's SuspicionCon. I was in room 47. The night manager, an avid listener of the program, insisted I take this particular room. Now, the manager explained that years back, the body of a man was discovered under the bed, inside that wooden border that motel beds tend to have. And the body had been there a week, he said. Guests had stayed there, sleeping with the corpse a foot below them. They only found the body when housekeepers complained about the smell. Hauntings have been reported in room 47 ever since. I happily took the room. I fell asleep pretty quick, checking under the bed first, of course. No ghosts visited me, no chilly spots or flickering lights. But when I woke up, I found myself under the bed.
You were the dead person.
It was dark and stiflingly hot. Luckily, I was able to push the mattress off and crawl out before I suffocated. The night manager was kind enough to find me another room.
That's very kind.
There you have it, listeners. What we call ghosts take many forms. Quincy was brave enough to tell his story, and I encourage you to keep calling and writing whenever you encounter something strange, something you can't explain. Maybe you're seeing colors that we have no name for. Maybe your sister is possessed. Remember, dear listeners, when no one else believes you, we do. America Overnight, we'll be right back.
How do you describe a color we have no name for? It's impossible. I guess you call it Nerlay. Alright, this is where we fight the flying dude. What a cool looking room, isn't it? I guess those are all... Oh, they're the pneumatic tubes, but they look like a bunch of trees.
They can fly now. Great.
So the thing about the flying guy is you can't throw stuff at him because he knows how to throw stuff at me, so he's good at avoiding it. Let's see, he just dodges it every time. So until I get the ability to shotgun him, he's a little harder than average. This one's also like a boss, the other thing. But they can't dodge bullets, thankfully. Not yet, anyway. Maybe later. I thought there were other mobs in this room as well, but maybe they're somewhere else. Headshot, 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 headshot. You can see when I land a headshot because he gets like a bright pink dot on him. Oh no! The hitbox on that ladder. It's too big. It's like a Dark Souls arrow. It's stuck in it. Ah! I didn't even see what happened there. Well, that's my first death. Super cool loading screen, though. Oh, there were mobs, so something else shot me, I guess. Well, thankfully, the place, the last place I claimed is my checkpoint, so I'm, like, right outside the room. It's no big deal. I haven't really lost significant progress from dying in this, which is nice. There's also no difficulty settings in it. You just kind of play what the game was meant for you to play. Let's see if I can find those other mobs first. I like to shoot at them.
Great.
Or go upstairs, maybe. Jeez. One hit, I'm already, like, down to a tiny bit of health left. Well, 2 hits there. And without any other dudes, well, I guess I just have to rely on the little bit that was dropped. Yeah, it does seem like dying does save your progress. That seems correct. Oof. I thought there was health drops from when I shot him. I generally speaking haven't found the gameplay to be particularly difficult. I mean, I know I'm, like, actually dying right now, but I wouldn't consider this to be a really big stumbling block or anything. But I suppose I'm also quite early on. There's these, like, kamikaze dudes that you fight later that can quite easily explode on you. Alright, so let's avoid the initial hit, if possible. So where are these other ones? I don't see anybody around. I'm kind of still thinking I just got hit with some shrapnel. Wait, was that a health bar down on the ground there? Oh, there they are. Yeah, you're right. I thought I remembered there being more from before anyway. When you're in close proximity, it's a little hard to throw stuff at them. Oh, more spawn next to me there. Okay. Anybody else? Alright, we'll wait it out. Hey! Stop that. Oh, they keep teleporting in. Oh, that one dropped a weapon mod. Okay, so sometimes I've noticed the camera does get stuck in the center of your character's body. That's kind of annoying when that happens. Alright, let's go and grab all this. Run. Wow, they're not stopping, huh? Yeah, maybe they just keep respawning until you finish the fight. But if I'm up here, they probably won't get to me as easily. I like how when you hit them, the bullets light up like that. It's really cool. I mean, you don't get quite as discrete hit markers as some. But this game just has odd but interesting ways of giving you visual feedback. Hey, flying dude, what's the story? I think he's decided to just kind of retreat until I move around. Hey, thanks so much, Major Tib, for the 100-bit cheer. Much appreciated. Okay, Tomasi. Shit's getting old, buddy. Wow, this guy's a pain in the ass until you get the shotgun. Come here, Rolo Tomasi. I got some experimental noise core for you. I think I'd at least have earned an ult by now. Give me some Deadeye. I got an object of power for you. There we go. Don't worry, he'll be back.
I have a feeling he'll be back.
Yeah, me too.
Let's stay focused. The hotline should be past the mailroom.
Now, it's funny, I thought I was going to end up going faster on this playthrough, but I actually think I'm ending up going slower because I'm reading all the documents now.
Roberto Tomasi, head of comms.
All right,
This got him.
Hey, Dan Giesling.
The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness affecting the staff at...
Oh, you can't listen to it and read at the same time. That's a drag. So that's the Hiss Elevated. We don't run into a ton of these, but maybe later on we'll see more. Hiss Elevated agents display abilities similar to telekinetic competencies observed in Bureau parautilitarians. Some prefer to change their targets, while others launch objects, or charge their targets, rather. Telekinetic attacks have been ineffective against the Hiss Elevated due to their own talent in the area. They do not use any weaponry except their own paranatural capabilities. Some Hiss Elevated have been seen levitating while strapped into chairs. This is likely the result of individuals being corrupted while undergoing cognitive recording in parapsychology. How are they able to use paranatural abilities? Is it possible these individuals were bound with objects of power prior to corruption? It's also worth considering that the Hiss resonance can identify and express latent paranatural ability in individuals it corrupts. And there's Tomasi's ID. Issued in 2016, expired in 2019. October 21st. So the butt summary. Or Butte. A spate of disappearances were traced to a home in the city of Butte where Bureau agents discovered a translocative light switch cord. Oh, yeah, we see that in a minute. Bureau agents arrived at the home of a local celebrity, was it Dan Giesling, located at address redacted, which had been connected to a total of blank disappearances in the area. Agents found no one inside. While searching a closet, an agent pulled the light switch cord and disappeared from view. Another agent was selected to pull the cord in order to replicate the event. He disappeared as well. Both agents were discovered at the oldest house blank days later, found in a sealed room by rangers exploring a new area of the house. The light switch cord in the Butte's home closet disappeared during this incident.
All right, take this down.
That's Dan.
The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness affecting the staff at the U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power. Numerous personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery. Of course, the event also damaged their cellular walls, but we can't blame that on some stupid noise gun. Thank God no local doctors examined them first.
Now he's laughing.
Honestly, what are the odds an alternate item would show up inside a U.S. embassy? Talk about good luck, huh? So much easier to... Hey, are you still recording this?
There you go.
The U.S. embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a...
I played it while playing it.
Numerous personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full...
Launch efficiency. We want to go to the hotline chamber.
The hotline can't be far now.
Health recovery, personal mod. Might want to look into that. Health recovery on pickup. Oh, 21%. Okay, well, it's slightly better than the one I have. Same vague New England feel. You hear that off in the distance? What's the Twin Peaks room called? I feel like that was sort of reminiscent of that a little bit. So there are the visitors that have checked in. And Bill Everett, the custodian, seems to be in here a bunch. And Director Trench. And then Carol Bishop. Yeah, Black Lodge, thank you. This bit's pretty cool.
The Ocean View Motel and Casino. Dream logic. The light switch cord.
Hey, fizzing slit.
Black Pyramid.
So the hotline's there. This sign, which actually, smartly, you can't really see until you pull this once. Notice, Ocean View Motel and Casino entry point, catalyst light switch, law of 3 applies. Ritual attunement required. Agent must orient and anchor motel to their personal frequencies. And then we've got like a magneto box across the way, and the whole thing is filled with audio diffusing padding, which is just a great texture. So law of 3 means 1, 2, oh, well, 3 total.
Been here before? No.
You don't like the gun wiggle?
I've stayed at a lot of roadside motels across the country, on the road, on the run, under the radar. This feels like all of them, like something recognized from a dream.
The, I don't know if you saw why, but like the gun wiggles because it reconfigures the way that the building does. So it's a bunch of like magnetic chunks that kind of reorient themselves and float around. But I hear you if it's not your thing. Hey, Rolf. Oh man, I haven't seen one of those cigarette machines in years. They used to be everywhere. Every restaurant you'd go to would have one with those little knobs. So the rooms down here are all shut. But rule of 3s, right? So we want to go hit the bell 3 times.
Hello? Anyone here?
Great use of lighting to lead the player. I was a little confused about this the first time. I didn't get that I was supposed to hit the bell 3 times. Or I didn't, like, check this hallway again or something. Anyway.
Key has a black pyramid on it.
Black Pyramid. Where have I seen that before? Oh, right, the only interactable door handle. What kind of game is this? Surreal third-person shooter? With some, like, X-Files SCP vibes. No need to catch up on the VOD. I actually ended up restarting it because the footage from yesterday was kind of jank. We're actually still quite early on. This is like the first mission, really. But yeah, of course, if you have any interest in the game, absolutely don't let me spoil you on it if you want to play it yourself. I highly recommend it. This game's really good. So these, you might remember I was mentioning that we'll see something like the disc a bit later. Hotline will allow you to contact extra-dimensional entities. Yeah, these creepy boys, they want to, like, assimilate you into their ball of knowledge or something. I don't quite know what their deal is. But long story short, we want to not touch them. Or even really get super close, to be honest. We want to just kind of, like, get around them. Yeah, really not sure why the astral plane looks duller this time. I remember the surfaces were all very reflective and resplendent looking, and now they look kind of muddy. So, well, if it makes the game run okay for the sake of the stream, I'm okay with it for now. But trust me, it does look better than this, generally speaking. They don't look quite as chaotic as they should. Yeah, I don't know, I think it's because I've played so many dang games, like, I'm used to the way that these types of things seem to be made. I also just noticed they're on the same animation cycle. That sucks, but probably no one else will notice that. I don't know how often you'll end up seeing them both at the same time, other than this moment.
It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well.
This game is so cool, I love it.
A director needs a team. My management team. These people know the secrets of the Bureau as well as I do. Some even better. Darling, Tomasi, Salvador, Marshall. Marshall especially, my head of operations. She sees right through me. She knows I don't like relying on people. The only person you should fail is yourself. But things change when you become director.
Well, we actually know Tomasi was hissed. The guy we were just talking to is dead. And the other ones we don't quite know yet.
I have it. The hotline. I can reach Trench. Well, listen to him. He feels more like an echo. An echo with important...
Yeah, we don't know about Darling yet.
I need to get back to Emily.
Yeah, so the astral plane,
People react strongly when I tell them about you.
they have to set it up, so we end up spending a bit of time there.
Is it too soon to tell Emily? She might be able to help.
Well, we're learning new abilities. They kind of function as tutorial zones, but after we kind of get that stuff out of the way, I think we go there less. It seems like it transitions from being less ethereal the deeper into the facility you get, because the weird stuff just kind of starts being in existence, if that makes sense. Like, it's just here. We don't have to go to another realm for it. So this is where I got a little overwhelmed with how much documentation there was, because that phone just gave us a ton of case files. Oh, no, these are just videos. We don't need that. We could check out the butt supplement, yeah. So, hotline, containment procedure object should be inaccessible for use except to the director. I wonder why putting it in that box made it inaccessible to anyone else. It seemed like anyone could pull that cord. Object is a 1960s era red bakelite telephone. The rotary dial has been replaced with a black knob of unknown purpose. The phone weighs mysterious. Oh, we don't know. The object allows the director to communicate with the board. If used by anyone other than the director, the object will cause lethal something. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.6 for more information. The object is currently bound to the director Trench. The object spontaneously manifested in the director's office placed on the desk. Director Northmore was the first known Bureau agent to use it. A battery of tests were run on the object, including redacted and redacted, but its origin remains unknown. Who did we talk to? That was the prior director, Trench. So he's dead, but we seem to be able to speak to him, possibly because he's now aligned with the gun that we use, but also possibly because of the board. We're not really sure. He's just sort of an echo. He might not actually exist, and we might be speaking with some sort of, like, remnant of him. According to their testimony, the agents that had been transported from the Butte home to a roadside motel named the Ocean View Motel and Casino and discovered a room by performing a ritual, see file MOT-01, the key opened a door marked with an inverted black pyramid, which they only learned after a lengthy period of trial and error. After pulling another motel cord found inside this room, they were transported to the oldest house here. The disappearances of the home's owner and other locals of Butte have been attributed to the light switch cord. The Ocean View Motel is now known to have many doors and pathways. Since the occurrence, identical light switch cords to the one found in the Butte home have begun appearing throughout the oldest house. At the time of writing, redacted light cords have been found in the oldest house located in the redacted and redacted sectors. These all access the Ocean View Motel, though how exactly the link operates is redacted, but initial hypothesis center on the Butte AWE as a redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation 24.3. Okay, so that's probably fast travel, actually. Wait. We already have fast travel, though. Maybe it goes to other realms, because it seemed like there were a lot of doors with different symbols, and the Black Pyramid is kind of the symbol of this place. And we're meant to go to other realms, so maybe that's fast travel outside of the oldest house. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Okay, so I gave that way less credit the first time I saw it than I did this time. We just saw that. And we saw these. Oh, okay, so there's actually much less here than I thought there was. I just saw a lot of pop-ups, so I thought it was many things. Okay, so let's go forward. Yeah, Bifrost Bridge. God, I want to play God of War again. That game's so freaking good. Can I make God of War my game of the year again? So this is the prior director's office, Trench. Bureau funding. And now there's a new document that wasn't here before. To all executive staff, I know there is some concern regarding our operations exceeding the annual budget. So long as we operate within the oldest house, we are obscured from scrutiny in many respects. If our budget demands are not exorbitant to the point of drawing attention, they will be granted by the U.S. Treasury without question. The FBC is just another line in another spreadsheet that some lowly accountant won't even notice. Their eyes will skip over us, as if we weren't even there. The nature of the oldest house allows us certain freedoms in how we operate. Our being here is no accident. Regards, Zachariah Trench. I like that. I don't know what it is, but I like it. It's like a plant / pencil holder. That phone says don't touch on it. Oh, I've destroyed the room. Yeah, I never did New Game Plus. Maybe that's a thing I should consider. That's so Men in Black, isn't it? And the fact that it's using ray tracing, like, it makes this wall of shade that makes this almost look like it's a ceiling itself. But these are actually hanging lights. It's a nice effect. Oh. Clearance level 01. More documents. Agent death notification. And shatter projectile choke. That's a good one. I used that last time. Yeah, I kind of wish they spaced these out a little bit more. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Potts, I regret to inform you that your son, Graham Potts, was killed in active duty this past week. While the details surrounding his death were classified, I am honored to tell you that he died in service of his country. You can be proud of his courage in the face of danger. This is probably the scissors. And his commitment to protecting our nation against her enemies. He'll be remembered by his comrades and colleagues. I sincerely regret the pain this message will bring you. Take some solace in knowing that his sacrifice helped protect the country he loved so much. His effects will be returned to you with all speed. Howard H. Murray, Chief of Communications. Don't mention Alaska. It is cool, though, that they reference the other materials so readily. I mean, the lore and world building in this is pretty consistent and exciting to see develop in front of you. And for a game that's so meticulously detail-oriented, I think that's very important that they got that right. And I do believe they did get that right, so... good news. Maybe reading all of these materials will force me to play a little more slowly and meticulously. And I'll be able to appreciate new revelations in the story more readily when they happen. Did I see this before?
Reminder, if you experience an
No.
unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for Bureau staff to find you and the object. If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the...
I didn't get it on this playthrough, though.
Await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
Because I walked past this last time, I just must have not ducked in this room. Anything else in here? He's gonna be sucking on the sprinkler in a second. Would have been kind of neat to be able to walk through the building, or at least a small bit of the building when everyone was not possessed, just to see it functioning normally. Okay, I've already been in here. But also having everyone suspended mysteriously in the air is pretty cool, too. So far, it's been pretty true to the spirit of SCP.